Pod, where today we're talking about The Good Wife, Season 4, Episode 18, Death of a Client. I am one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, the woman that when I finally meet her, our in-person relationship will be determined by a handshake or a hug. Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good. I'm good. Should I call you your eminence? Is that what you're going for?
That's
Because
right.
you're
Give
making
me the formal bow. Better than a handshake or a hug. I'll take a bow when we meet. Whenever that day comes in
I
the
know.
far flung future, probably, because I don't know. I don't see myself going to Chicago anytime soon for anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, we just kind of have to see how January goes, and then
We'll
take it
see.
from
We'll
there.
see. That will be the day where me and Marissa Garza, me
Oh,
and good old Bar.
oh
Uh,
boy.
yeah, Marissa Garza, you good?
Hey, I'm good. Jace,
Good.
Jace, you good?
I'm fine with Jace. You can call me Jace. People call me Jay. You're gonna upset me with abbreviation of my name. Um, we are here, episode 18, getting down to the nitty gritty of it. I do have to wonder, did Juliana Margulies write this episode? Because this episode was basically all about all the men that love Alicia, that want to be around Alicia, that can't help being around Alicia, that file lawsuits just to be around Alicia. We find out by the end of the episode. So yeah, I was just wondering, like, is this a Juliana
And
Margulies joint?
also, even in the past, when mentioned, Kalinda was not available because she was busy. So you might be onto something here.
Even though Kalinda ends up in the same exact location
Yeah.
that Alicia does, never in the same scene, in the
No.
same place.
No, can't have that. Can't have that.
So yeah, before we get into the nitty gritty of the case, we want to remind you some free and easy ways you can help this podcast. You can do that by reviewing, rating, subscribing, wherever it is you are watching and are listening to this episode, to this podcast. It really does help us get into the eyes and ears of more people. Helps us dig into the algorithms. I'm sure Neil Gross of Chum Hum fame can explain to you someday. But yes, you can also help us. If you also just want to talk to us about the show, you can email us at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com. If you would like to donate some monetary funds to this little fledgling enterprise, a small business podcast, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. We appreciate any sums, large or small. That greatly helps us in the running of this enterprise. With that out of the way, Marissa, let's get into the episode. We have a very in and out episode of storylines, so we're going to really run this down just chronologically this episode, because there's so much intermingling of all the intermingling of many things in many ways. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right, starting at the top, we are starting exactly kind of where we left off in the last episode. The last episode, Alicia was all dressed up, ready to go. She leaves the house. She gives the kids the weird little wave. And then we see her in this episode arriving at the Shamrock dinner.
Yeah.
She says that Peter looks presidential or whatever.
You just hate it. You hate the fact that Alicia's endearing to Peter. Like, oh, you look good, Peter. We're just like, gross.
No, thank you. As they said in the 90s, gag me with a spoon. Which I know. Well, it's no skibbity toilet, but whatever. Alicia is having conversation with Peter and Eli, and she's drinking a lot. And she's like, Eli, if you say anything about how much I'm drinking, I will start doing shots.
Yeah, because Eli shoots her a look. He's like, you seem to be throwing him back. She's like, don't start. Do not start. I'm in a mood. Eli. In a mood. Don't do it.
Yes, and we learn the actual reason for this dinner. It's only been referred to as the Shamrock dinner up until this point. But at the end of this dinner, Cardinal James, the Cardinal of Chicago, of the Diocese of Chicago, I'm guessing, is going to give a handshake to one candidate and a hug to another. And if that hug is usually seen big dividends in the campaign donation territory, so Eli is really pumped up for this. He's explaining all of this stuff and also trying to give Alicia this you stood by your man, we're so happy you're here type of pep talk, and Alicia's not buying it at all, and it's all interrupted when Will arrives. So we've got quite a little gaggle of people here.
I've learned there's no moment better in The Good Wife when Peter, Will, and Alicia are in the same room together, because it's so awkward, especially in this moment where it's the perfect timing where Eli's like, Alicia, you're the patron saint of faithful wives. up walks Will, and everyone's just kind of like, ooh, bad timing, Will, because we were just talking about how faithful Alicia is, and everyone in this little circle of 4 people knows about Alicia and Will's little dalliances. Not to say that that doesn't mean Alicia is faithful, because let's not forget the circumstances in which this all happened. So
Agreed.
it is a weird juxtaposition, but it's just funny how awkward everyone gets when Will walks up and was like, oh, let's be quiet now, because things just got weird.
Well, and then they get even weirder because, again, Peter, I don't like him. He says, "Hi, Will. I never had the chance to thank you for making Alicia partner. Excuse me? What now? Is this the 1950s? What is happening?" And Will rightfully responds, "I didn't do anything. She earned it on her own." Even though it wasn't really, but sort of. But, whatever, Peter.
We've had this problem with Peter for the whole run of the show. I don't understand why this man cannot look at Alicia as her own person with her own accomplishments without without qualifying it of like, someone else did it for you, someone else gave this to you. No, bro, she earned this through her own merits. So yeah, it is really annoying when Peter stoops to that.
Yeah, thank you, Jace.
Listen, Mar, I have always been on the yes, Peter sucks train, but I'm not. My Peter, I don't have as much Peter derangement syndrome to really not see where he does have moments. You're always like, I hate Peter
not
so
always.
much.
I have given stars. I have given stars.
At my prodding, you've given stars.
Well, they have been given.
You've begrudgingly given stars. But yeah, I'm not as rageful when I see Peter as you are. But this moment was a like, ugh, Peter moment.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Also at the party is good old Mike Kristiva. Seeing him for the first time in a while. And it's brought up that he is not drinking because of reasons, maybe, don't know. And Alicia's, like you said, in a mood. She is talking to Kristiva, and she's like, life's too short not to be honest. And he's like, oh, really? Well, why don't you tell me your husband's strategy? Like, oh, to use me to get to the women. Like, oh, I love this part of you. What worries you the most when it comes to me? And she says, your ability to lie and pretend it's the truth.
I mean, we don't see this we don't see people this many people get Alicia this hot, like off the rip. Like it might be like a Lewis Canning, but this Mike Kristiva, she's not giving any like credence to this man at all. She's like, you suck. I hate you. Like, because let's not forget, like, Mike, from when we first saw Mike, has been screwing Alicia over at every instance.
It's like Lewis Canning, but worse.
Yeah, for sure. So you can't blame Alicia for being hot under the collar every time she sees Mr. Kristiva.
Agreed. And then we get a sign from the Kings, a truthism, a something or other, because Alicia says to Mike, the problem with bad people is that they use the arguments of good people. And Mike says, the problem with good people is they see themselves as good people. Ooh, something to sit with in 2026, is it not?
Something to chew on for sure.
Yeah. At this point, a detective interrupts their conversation and pulls Alicia away. Mike then takes this opportunity to tell Cardinal James, who I know as from Northern Exposure and Mark Green's dad on ER, and also the musical 1776, if you've ever watched that with Mr. Feeney. But that's where I know him from. Jason, you did not know him from
Mr. Feeney's in 1776.
Yes, Mr. Feeney is in 1776, and he sings, and it's great. And so does John Collum, who plays Cardinal James.
Nice.
But anyway, Mike takes this opportunity to talk to Cardinal James. Says, "Yeah, Alicia had to go with the cops. I sure hope it wasn't about her son again."
Mike never lets go of an opportunity to throw dirt on someone else.
Yeah, and we learn the reason why Alicia was pulled away is because one of her clients was murdered tonight.
Were you wondering, like, when you hear this, or you're like, was this someone that we have seen? Like, is this someone that we know? Like, what is this going to be? Like, we know it's not going to be a Colin Sweeney or a Lamont Bishop, but it's like, could this be a one-off that we saw before that is being brought back in? But no, it's not. It's a brand new person to us.
a brand new person to us by the name of Matthew Ashbaugh, who's apparently just like a rich dude that was brought to
Yeah.
the firm. But Alicia goes to the station to watch the video of the killing, and she sees that this guy was basically shot like point blank, like pretty close to, like he walked up to him and just shot him.
Like I know Alicia's a lawyer and everything, and she's dealt with these cases before, but like, are these people just like, we're just gonna show you a murder right now. We're gonna literally show you video of a murder. Like I can't see who he is like before the murder. Like I could tell you who this man is without seeing him murdered in front of me. And poor Alicia is so like so numb to all this now. She's seen so many so
Yeah,
much like crazy stuff. She's just like, okay, I saw a man get shot in the neck, on video, and
on video.
yeah, I'm not like, I don't flinch, I don't have a reaction. I'm just like, huh, yeah, I saw a murder. Like, it's so bizarre that she has seen so much. It's just like, it's whatever.
In
Another day
just
in the
4
office.
seasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so she's asked, like, is anything recognizable? Is there a, like, do they have any enemies? Because the police have this idea that the killer who killed Ashbaugh is not done killing for
Mm.
some reason. And like, do you have any enemies? Do you want to tell us about any of the cases you're working on? How many cases were you working on? 18? How many were ongoing? 18? So this man looks as though he may have a few enemies.
Yeah, he apparently sues for any and everything. We get a laundry list of things that he's going after. So he's in the Lockhart Gardner offices a lot.
Yes. So Alicia is sitting there. She has a flashback to meeting with Ashbaugh and his wanting to sue someone because the dog was barking. We are introduced to not only Ashbaugh, but also his use of classical music pretty much all of the time. And she's basically saying, like, if you keep suing people, you're going to make a lot of enemies. And he's like, yeah, but I can sue whoever I want. This is America. And also, it's called multitasking, Alicia. Like, get with it. And she's like, what do you want me to do? Fire you? And she's like, yes, please. Please fire me.
I was really like astounded by the quick chemistry that Juliana Margulies had with this should be mentioned, this man is played
Oh,
by John Noble, who is like a real veteran actor, stage actor. I think probably a lot of people will know him from the show Fringe that was
yeah.
on 10 or so years ago. That was like, he was very big on that show. He got a very big following from that show, and then he's been on a bunch of other things since, Sleepy Hollow, Elementary. So he's out there in the like procedural kind of game. But I really enjoyed the quick like chemistry and flow that Alicia and Ashbaugh had, because it's already to a point where Alicia's annoyed, and she doesn't mind telling him that she's annoyed with his antics.
Yeah. Well, and we see how they first meet in the next flashback that we get, which is coming up right after this. And Will is the one who introduced them, and she replies, "It's a pleasure to meet you." And he's like, "Why? Why is it a pleasure to meet you?" It's like, you're a wealthy client, and I want to make a good impression." So the rapport is already here. And then we see some more clips about you travel with your own soundtrack. He's like, yeah, you don't? Like, what is up with that? And going back and forth on hearing the same quote unquote Bach song over and over and over again. But Ashbaugh reveals that the reason why he does this is because he's concerned that someone is listening in to his conversations.
Yeah, so Ashbaugh is a little quirky. He's got some things that he thinks that are interesting. But the important thing to note here is that in these flashbacks, and it's funny because it's a little bit of a meta moment, because Alicia has her season 3 Alicia hair.
Mhm,
So it's
mhm.
like you can really place it in a moment in time. And when Will does like introduce Alicia to Ashbaugh, she rolls her eyes at Will when he does something. So it's like, okay, like we could really put this in a place and time. This is when Alicia was still pretending to be like annoyed with Will. She had her effing hair. She's like,
Yes,
and
yes.
it's so much more noticeable now that it's a wig. I don't like it, because I don't know if it's because we're shooting this like out of order. They're like, I don't know, can we find the season 3 wig? Like, I don't know, just plop it on her head. It felt a lot more like because maybe they're going back and forth between the wigs. That's why I'm noticing it even more. But it's, the wig, season 3 wig, seems like so more haphazardly just like flopped on her head. But it's interesting to really be able to place this in that time.
Yeah, it took a like it becomes clear throughout the flashbacks when certain things are happening, but I liked how they played with time overall in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So while Alicia's doing all this remembering, she does fill a whole page with a list of people that could be enemies for Ashbaugh. And the detective, who I think his name is Doug.
Doug. Yeah, Doug something or other.
Yeah, Doug Young.
Doug Young, who himself is like he's in the TV game. For those of you that watch the show Nashville, you'll know this man. He was in like almost every episode of Nashville. He was also in the show Smash, which I remember the show Smash. I'm trying to remember like where. I think he was he the lead guy in Smash, the lead of the fake play they were doing. I think so.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so that you recognize Doug. You recognize good old Detective Doug in here.
And he's asking Alicia, like, did he ever have any altercations with any of these people? Any strong words? And you can see Alicia like going down the list and putting asterisks around nearly everyone. Did he ever say he wanted to kill or someone was out to kill him? We get another flashback of Ashbaugh being pushed into a wall by an officer saying, oh, no, sorry, wrong flashback. Guys, there's many flashbacks. This flashback, we get of Ashbaugh telling Alicia, one day you'll be identifying my body in a morgue and you'll know that everything I said was true.
Yeah, so it's this guy, he knows he pisses everybody off, and I guess for whatever reason he doesn't care. He's like, hey, whatever, if somebody wants to kill me, they'll kill me.
Yeah, and apparently he had there was tension between him and this guy Masad. And so
Masad is like it's not a person, it's like a
group.
It's not like a group, yeah, like yeah, so it's a group that are out to like get him. So it's not a guy, it's a organization.
Yeah, the organization of Masad is out to get him. So she drops that, and the officer says, yeah, he also sued the CPD, right? Like the Chicago Police Department. It's like, what can you tell us about that? And Alicia's like, I need to make a phone call real quick.
Yeah, because she sees real quick, like, well, first of all, she's like, it's funny you mentioned the Chicago PD, the very like
place I'm
here. So like, this is a little bit suspect. So I don't know if I can actually like give you all the information. She's like, I gotta get some guidance on this.
And it's so funny because anytime there's one of these calls, it's like she calls Will, and then Diane is around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to go on speakerphone. It's like, tell mom and dad what's going on. So she brings them up to speed on everything that's going on and asks basically about privilege, because they're talking about wanting to know about their cases, especially the case against the Chicago Police Department. And the question here is, does privilege extend in matters of death? And it's kind of iffy. I didn't really quite follow this, but there's some sort of like approval that the family can give that would help them out. But for right now, Diane is like, just don't assume it doesn't cover it, basically.
Yeah, I think it was like, if the family says we can divulge information, that's fine. So you don't have the actual person here to give consent. Their next of kin could give consent. So I mean, it kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yep. At this point, Eli interrupts this conversation. Peter needs a word with Diane, and Hellinger arrives at the station, and she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Hi." Peter is having a conversation with Diane, thanking her for her debate prep. It's like, it was fun, but I don't think I'd make a great Kristiva. You are correct. You would not.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I want you to be a Supreme Court Justice of Illinois, because we just learned in the last episode that one just died.
Yeah, and I mean, at first he's like, hey, like the guy, the Supreme Court Justice, he's dead, so we need to fill the seat. And Diane's not even like thinking of the fact that it could be her. She's like, oh, right. you want me to give you some names? You want to give you some ideas? She's like, no, girl, we want you. Like, we want you to be the Supreme Court Justice. And I love it's almost like Diane is feeling what Alicia felt when they told her that they wanted her to be part. She's like, oh, me? Little old me? Little old Diane? You want me to be Supreme Court Justice? It just goes to show like the different levels of the things you can go up to. Like even Diane can feel the emotions Alicia felt. There's still room to go up for Diane to feel exactly what Alicia was feeling when she was asked to step up.
Yes, Agreed. At this point, Eli's like, yeah, it's great. Like you are the people that we want to court and get donors from, and like all this stuff. And Peter's like, and you'd make a great judge also. At this point, Diana's a little bit worried about the business and is asking, how much time does she have to make this decision? And Peter's like, well, I'm kind of under the gun, so you kind of have to decide tonight. You have 2.5 hours. It's just like, great. And it's not an easy decision because Jason, as you did, I just want everyone to know, Jason did do research on Illinois law, and like he's becoming such an Illinoisan. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, by research it means I looked at the goofs, the goofs section of IMDb where they put all the errors and things that aren't for real. But if you mean research, that's what you mean.
Yeah, what did you find about being a Supreme Court justice in the state of Illinois?
Well, here's the thing. The reason this is put in the goofs section of IMDb, because actually the Illinois Supreme Court justices are elected to 10-year terms, not appointed. Since 1970, midterm vacancies, which this would be, have been made by appointment of the sitting justices. So this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter would not be the one that would appoint Diane to a vacant seat. So I don't know how they got this like continuity error wrong. Maybe in these subtle differences that are in the Good Wife and real universes, this would be a subtle change of the multiverse. That in the Good Wife verse, the governor gets to appoint vacant seats on the Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, I mean, not that you would be an 8th grader in the state of Illinois studying for your Illinois Constitution test and listening to this podcast, but if you are, do not follow the precedent sent before you here with the governor appointing a Supreme Court judge. Very, very not the case. At this point, Laura is at the station trying to get information from Alicia. And Alicia's like, I know why you're here. You want me to break privilege and give you information. Laura's like, no, I just want you to know, like, it's not that bad. Like, you could totally do it. But also, like, who's Eddie Lomax?
Mm-hmm.
We get another flashback to this is when Ashbaugh was being pushed up against a wall by an officer who says, you bring up Lomax again and I'll kill you. And so Alicia decides, I cannot confirm or deny anything about this. And Laura's like, okay, fine. But like in a little bit, can we talk about it? Just talk about something. Like I just need some advice, like girl to girl advice.
Did you think you knew what this was as soon as you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I know what this is going to be about.
Yes. Alicia decides at this point, maybe I should call Peter and let him know what's going on. Back at the dinner, Peter is talking to Cardinal James. And Cardinal James is like, I'm so sorry to hear about your son and his difficulties. I'm so glad you're facing it head on, though, because like drug addiction, that's a big thing.
Yeah. And this is interesting because I mean, like we said, we love the callbacks this show brings. And Kristi was like, using this minor, like, well, what was really minor at the time? This like infraction of like what we saw all the way. And was it the first episode of season 3?
It was the first episode, of this
season, where Zach, Alicia, and Grace got pulled over, and there was like a little bit of marijuana shake, which we find out was left over from good old Uncle Will. This was Uncle what's his name? Uncle Alicia's brother.
I thought it was also planted.
No, I don't think so. This was like, what's the guy's name?
Uncle
Owen.
Uncle Owen. Yeah, you got there. There. I was just like making sure you got there.
No, I think that was actually Owen's like marijuana shake, because I mean, it's
Owen Owens. Yeah. But yes.
And this is all a callback to that. And Mike is using that as like fuel. Even though he knows the real situation, he's using that as fuel to like kind of get the Cardinal like, riled up a little bit. Like, hey, this guy Peter, his family gets into tons of trouble all the time. Wouldn't you know it?
Yeah. And Peter's like, huh? What? But what now? Back at the station, Laura and Alicia are almost at the door when they find out that the killer's car had a GPS system and the GPS was headed towards Alicia's apartment.
Dun, dun, dun.
This goes alarm bells for Alicia. She calls the house, make sure everyone's okay. Grace is like, yeah, we're just in the other room. I'm like, Grandma's here. Jackie's there? No, Veronica, the other one. She's like, okay.
I just found it funny. We're still not in an era of like, call the kid's cell phone. We still like call the landline.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's good skills to have. I really do think they're gonna come back in need at some point. But Alicia talks to her mom, Veronica, and Veronica, who is Stalker Channing, who is amazing. And she says, "Don't worry, I brought more appropriate presents for them this time." And Alicia's like, "I don't care, just take them to your hotel," because the original plan was for the kids to go downstairs to the fourth floor to be with their neighbors, but they're on vacation. So guess what, Veronica, you are babysitting tonight. And
You are
then,
now, you are now grandma / bodyguard for them.
yes, yes. And then before she hangs up, she's like, "Hey, can I talk to Zach real quick?" And Zach's like, "Don't worry, mom. Like, she's being okay. It's, you know, uh, she's like, yeah. I don't care. Here's the thing. Your grandma is not that responsible. So if she asks you to do something, you can, and I want you to disobey her."
I love that.
Which is great. So back at the station, Laura is back on like trying to figure out the privilege situation. She's like, attorney-client privilege can be waived when the attorney's life is in danger. So Alicia's like, yeah, okay. So I heard Ashbaugh mention Edward Lomax. It was or mentioned to him by Officer Nosowitz. And then she talks about how she saw him pushed up against a wall by Officer Nosowitz. She's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, and immediately Laura goes over to Detective Doug, and Alicia's like, interesting. What's going on here? Why are they conferring?
Back at the party, Diane tells Will about the judgeship, and she'd have to walk away from the partnership. Just like every other season, there's a conversation about them splitting up in some way. Back on the streets of Chicago, the dangerous streets of Chicago, Veronica and the kids are trying to find her car so they can go to the hotel, but it's St. Patrick's Day and there's no way that you can get your car out of a street that's that packed as we were seeing. And in this conversation, she asks Grace, "When'd you get religious?"
Yeah, what is the religion thing all about?
It's like, weird.
Yeah, well, you really see where Alicia really gets her like just non-clue about any religion. Where it's like, okay, we can kind of see that where Alicia was kind of raised. Like, what is religion thing about? What is religion? What's going on with the religion? Never heard about this term religion. What are you? What's your problem? What are you? And Grace is like, I don't know. I'm just like religious. Get off my back.
Yeah, and then she goes, "Is it your father?" And Zach's like, "No, it's all her." Then Veronica, again, if you could just like clip this and put this into 2026, she says, "It's always the philanderers who go to Jesus."
Grace?
No. Well, I mean, she was saying that about
Peter.
Yeah. So they can't get the cars out. So Veronica's like, "Okay, let's go to a bar." And the kids are like, "What? Go to a bar?"
Of all the places you could pick to go, like I'm sure there's anywhere else. Like Veronica, of course, like bar, let's go. And I love Veronica. Veronica's like a standout character for me that I had forgotten about in this series, and I'm now being reintroduced to her over these like past few episodes she's been in. I am loving Veronica.
She's so fun. And she's like got that like I'm retired, I don't care thing, but also I don't think I ever cared.
Yeah, something tells me that's always been Veronica's vibe.
Yeah. Back at the station, there's drunk officer singing, who we will hear for pretty much the rest of the episode. And Laura tells Alicia they're gonna get her security, like it's okay. And at this point, Alicia's like, "Okay, well, like, what's the advice? What advice did you need?" Laura's like, "Nah, not right now. Like, we don't need to do it now." It's like, "No, I'm here. You're here. Let's talk about it." And she goes, "Well, what do you think of Will Gardner?"
Oh.
And Alicia's like, "And what way?" She's like, "I don't know. We seem to have something. I'm getting mixed messages. Are you sure he's not seeing anyone?" And as quick as like before she could even finish the sentence, Alicia's like, "Nope.
Nope,
No, he's not seeing anyone.
Certainly not seeing me. Has certainly never seen me. I don't know what you're talking about. I have never seen Will Gardner's penis. I can tell you that for a fact."
She's like, "Yeah, you should ask him out. Like, go for it. Do it." At this point, when she walks out of the little conversation with Laura, she overhears the detective talking to Officer Nosowitz, saying, "Hey, she mentioned your name." And Nosowitz like, "Yeah, he's better off dead." At this point, Alicia calls Kalinda, who is not in the same room, who is not in the same scene, who is on a date at the only bar in Chicago.
Trying to get her Mac on with some other hot lady, as Kalinda is wont to do.
Yes, exactly. At this point, Eli comes in and confronts Kristiva about the drug rumors. Like, what are you doing? Like, I heard the word pot and I heard the word Zach Floric from a detective. And so when I was asked, which he wasn't asked, he told, but I just said what I said.
Which are all blatant lies. Like
Yeah.
just not even just non-flinching, blatant, bold lie.
Yeah. So Eli's like, that's a lie. He's like, why are you calling everyone a liar? Sometimes the truth doesn't bend to your will.
Which is great. It's a great thing to say if someone is a good platitude about truths and about lies. But in this case, it's just an all out lie. Like
Exactly. And this, like, if as I was watching this, I was like, stop, don't turn right, turn left. Like the entire universe, turn left, don't go down this road, don't go down this road, turn left. And Kristiva then lets us know that he knows everything about the shakedown in more ways than one from episode 1 of the season, and he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna win this because the truth always wins, and he walks off.
yeah, I mean Eli rightfully points out, like, okay, like this is a smart play because we can't refute really your claim because yes,
Right.
Zach technically was pulled over, technically arrested, but not due to some like heavy amount of pot use or possession as Kristiva is implying.
Yes, exactly. So Kalinda, after receiving the call from Alicia, just like comes into the party. I guess you can do that. Like you just, well, if anyone can, Kalinda can. And she decides to talk to Carrie about the fact about this Sergeant Norowitz. And like seeing if the essays department had anything to go on. And Carrie is like so Carrie about this. He's like, I can't use the information from the state's attorney's office to help Lockhart Gardner, and I can't use the stuff from Lockhart Gardner to help the state's attorney's office. And Clinton's like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but like the GPS of the killer guy was set to Alicia's apartment. Oh, okay. Well, we did investigate him for for corruption by taking drug money.
I like how it was just like, hey, Carrie, I get your scruples, but it's your friend. It's like, oh, is my friend? Okay, then I can just ditch the values I was just talking about. Yeah. It's just like, just shows the limits of like, yes, would I do the same thing? Probably. But I also wouldn't take an oath to say I would never divulge into this information no matter what. But Carrie, who's all upright citizen, is just like, oh, my friend's involved? Oh, in that case, I'll ditch all of the oaths I took.
Yes. Yeah. And we also learned from this conversation that Edward Lomax was a drug dealer. Mm-hmm. So this gets enough for Alicia to go like, okay, I'm on my way. I'm going to go do this. And we get a moment. If we were going to ship them, what would we call them? Caleri?
Carlinda?
Carlinda. Sure. Yeah, that's better. Carlinda. A Carlinda moment, because as she leaves, Carrie's like, be careful. And then he grabs her arm.
It's more of a Carrie moment than a Carlinda moment.
It is more of a Carrie moment. Carrie's still like more into this than she is.
And let's not forget, we were just at a bar where Kalinda was hitting on a woman. Okay. So I think, which is not a surprise, I think Carrie is like more into this than Kalinda is.
Yeah, for sure.
Carrie thinks this is, a thing. And Kalinda's like, it's a thing, but it's just a thing. Like it's
an activity that we do together after work.
It's not a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. It's not, Carrie wants it to be a thing. But for Kalinda, it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. So from this, Kalinda calls Alicia and asks about the Fifth Ward murder. And we get a series of flashbacks here. First flashback is Alicia talking to Ashbaugh is like, he's saying this is really important, and she says, I am not omnipotent, which is different than omniscient, which was in the last one, but it's still around the same type of word. But anyway, she's like kind of ignoring him, trying to get the information. Then we get another flashback.
Well, this flashback when she's talking to Ashbaugh, we can tell she's a little preoccupied. She's doing something.
Oh no, she's doing something. Yes.
But in this one flashback, we see Will like come in from the side.
The next one, yeah.
No, it's this one. He starts like just kissing her. We're like, oh, okay. Will's here, and Will's just like, kissing her. We see more later, but it's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we get another, like, there's just like a couple of times we know that Ashbaugh called her a couple of times about this murder and she was distracted. It was during the will time is what
Yes,
it.
this is
Yeah.
the Will era,
Yeah.
and the moment where she's flashing back in her mind, she comes back from the flashback, and she's like filled with,
Yeah.
I'll call it emotion. She's like very verklempt of like, whew, like those were certain times, and it's so funny seeing these moments because we talked about this while it was happening. We just didn't see a lot. We didn't see enough of the actual relationship. So it's good to flash back to those times and remind ourselves this was more than we were shown. Like this was happening on a regular basis apparently during those times. And we just didn't see it a lot, which I think is a real criticism of that time. The quote unquote love affair did not last long enough for us to be like to really feel it the way that I think I remembered feeling it from the outside of being like when I think about The Good Wife, I think about when Alicia's like dallianced. But actually watching it, I was just like, oh, the dalliance didn't last that long. We didn't see enough of it.
Well, Jason, we have been a little bit jaded by the fact that we like this was a network television show and we were much younger. So we hadn't seen things like Game of Thrones or been exposed to things that like may have changed the level of what, suggestion is here. And I think,
True. Maybe it was so scandalous back then because it's like, oh, she's wearing a slip. She's wearing underwear. Oh my gosh, look at that. So maybe it was more of like oh my god, I can't believe this happened. This is so hot. And now we're watching of like we're so desensitized to to the stuff. We're just like, it's whatever. But yeah, I did enjoy seeing more than I felt we saw in the moment where this was happening. Of like,
yes. And like at this point, like she's having all this flashback. Laura is like, hello. Where are you? Like Alicia, you just seem far away. I was like, oh, that's a good way to put it. And she lets Alicia know that they're questioning Nazowitz, and she's like, good.
Yeah, pretending like she didn't see Detective Doug just chatting it up with Nazowitz. Like, oh yeah, you guys are questioning him. Like, I guess like formally questioning. Was I just saw them in like the cops' locker room shooting the crap about this. So like, I don't know if I really am taking we're officially questioning him now like into much consideration.
Yeah, and also we get another flashback with Will. This time they are a bed prone in the situation.
What'd you call it? A bed prone?
They are on a bed prone. Like they're in the prone position on a bed on top of each other.
A bed prone. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Okay.
Those are the words I said. Anywho, Will is like, he's suing the police again. And Alicia's like, yeah, can you just like, do you know anyone where you could like find out about the Ward shooting? It really is just like so annoying to me. Can you please do it? And he's like, what about Kalinda? It's like, Kalinda's busy. I was just like, I'm not talking to Kalinda right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, what do I get? What do I get if I do this? The good old days. The good old days.
This is what we needed more of in the moment at the time. I was like, it's so fun to see this interaction between them again. And I do wonder if that was in their minds when they were, thinking about this episode of like, we didn't really get enough of the Will Alicia dynamic as they were lovers. Let's give the fans more of what they want, because it's kind of like I think all the fans are probably like, yeah, we love seeing the Will Alicia stuff. Give us more of it. And they're like, we kind of cut it off premature, but here you go. Here's a little tidbit for you and for Alicia to think about.
Yeah. Back at the Shamrock dinner, Will and Diane are talking about the future of the firm if Diane does leave. And he's like, what, does David Lee become name partner? She's like, no, go with Gardner and Associates. Like, you don't need anybody else.
Yeah, I think they've been through enough of the shenanigans with the whole like who would step up, because we had the whole David Lee, Eli Gold, Julius. Where for art thou, Julius? Where are you, my man? Bring him back. But yeah, I think they had enough of those shenanigans. Like, yeah, I think we're just gonna go with Gardner and Associates on this one. We don't need the whole partner civil war about who's gonna get the partner spot.
Yeah. Alicia calls Will at this point and is like, they found my address in the GPS. I'm coming down. I'll be right there.
Bruh.
I'll be right there. What did you say? What? Do you want me to tell Peter? No? Okay, great. I'll be right there.
This was so interesting because he gets like immediately protective. Like, what?
Yeah.
My girl Alicia is in danger. I'm coming down as the gallant warrior. And Alicia tries to protest, like at first, of like, no, don't do it. Don't come down here. Oh no. Will's like, no, I'm coming down there. You want me to tell Peter? And she's like, no, don't tell Peter. He's busy. You will just come and protect me. Come and protect your girl, Alicia. Because I mean, listen, I'm sure in this night Alicia's having where she's forced to relive those moments, she's like, I can see Will right now. I can
Like, he's all dressed up. He's got
yeah,
like,
I can be down with that. I can be okay with
also Will
looking
could
at
see
Will.
me right now. Like, that's
Yeah,
cool. Like,
I'm looking hot.
okay.
I'm looking good right now with my bony back showing. I got it. Um, you can see my clavicle. You can see everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm all for seeing Will. She gives the lightest of attempts to be like, no, Will, don't come down here. And he was like, no, I'm coming. She's like, okay. Forceful man. Don't tell my husband you're coming down here though.
Yeah. So he's off to the station. Eli is telling Peter about Christiva knowing about the pot charge, and they have this conversation at the bottom of the steps. And Eli's like, do you know how to handle a lie? And Peter's like, with the truth? And Eli's like, no, with a bigger lie. And at this time, Christiva goes up the stairs, and Peter's like, you know what? I think I gotta use the men's room too. And he goes up with his glass filled with alcohol.
You know, like Peter, when we walk into the scene, is like hot. Peter's like, ooh, this mug, Christiva, bro, like he lying about me, he lying about my family. And if there's one thing we've learned, you don't lie about Peter's family. Don't mess with the family. Peter is like a mob boss. You don't come after the family. Families are off limits. We don't do that. So yeah, when he sees Christiva going up the steps, like now, I don't love Chris Noth. I'm not a Chris Noth like huge fan, mostly because of his, extracurricular activities.
Mhm.
Him and Juliana are a great couple, but like for reasons, right? But like that twinkle in his eye as he sees Mike Christina walk up the steps, he's like, you know what? I all of a sudden gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, uh-oh.
And Eli's like, what?
Well, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Bathroom, drain the lizard, Eli, pish posh. There's nothing going on.
And there is no other bathroom in this mansion to go to.
No other bathroom.
Back at the Irish bar, Veronica is like telling Lore she's suddenly Irish, or she's been Irish. She went to Bali. She loves the Bali men. We also learn that Grace has a boyfriend, and Veronica is like just being real with the kid. It says, your mom was pregnant with you when she got married to Zach. And Grace is like, nuh-uh.
Grace, who has done the math, like you can tell Grace is ready with the facts and figures because Grace has, for whatever reason, done the math in her head to be like, nope. Mom and Dad got married 2 months before they got pregnant with Zach. I know this because I looked into it because I'm nosy and I do all these things. And Veronica's like, nah, baby. They changed the date on that wedding. It's like your mom. She called her dad, all crying. What do I do? So really rocking Grace and Zach's world here. This boy that Grace is boyfriends with, this is the same, I'm assuming this is the same bad boy cigarette smoker from like a few episodes ago. And it like in this moment, like all the secrets are coming out because Zach is like, why you didn't tell mom that you had a boyfriend, that he was your boyfriend now, which was like, okay, I assume she kind of knew already, but whatever. And then Grace is like, well, I didn't tell mom you slept with Becca. I was like, what? Oh, which I mean, I think we knew because
but like we didn't know that Grace knew.
Right. How does Grace know? Like what like I don't even think I want to know how Grace knows. But like, yeah, that was all the secrets are coming out, and they've just got their world rocked that their mother, who I'm sure both Grace and Zach think Alicia is like this like paragon of virtue. Like,
well, yeah, because of how she's raising those kids, but then Veronica's like, she liked the bad boys. Like, wait, what? So back at the party, Peter has to pee, and so he goes into the men's room. Sees Christiva. Christiva's like, "Hey, how's your son?" Like, "Oh, are you worried about what I'm saying about this? Are you trying to provoke me?" And Peter's like, you know how you battle a lie? It's like, no, with a bigger lie. Bam.
Wow. Boom.
Bam.
And just like punches his man in the face, which I'm sure all of us Christina haters will be enjoying.
Yeah, but it also made me miss Matthew Perry because he really did fall very well. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, Matthew.
Not to speak ill of the dead, but I think Matthew Perry's he's used to know how to fall down.
I know.
On substances.
Yeah, and he's like, are you crazy? And Peter, okay, I'm not going to give him a star for this, but I will give him a kudos for this. This was quick thinking on his feet because as he's here, he's like, oh, there must be some other reason that this happened. I don't know what that could be. Breaking the glass with the alcohol in it. And then he goes downstairs and he sends security up and says, hey, can you check on Mr. Christiva to see if he's all right? Because I think he drank too much and fell down.
Well, you say he's quick on his feet, but I am pretty sure he came in there with this plan.
No. Yeah, but I mean, like, it happened in 2 seconds, like from the moment he went up the stairs.
Yeah. He's like, I'm about to punch him
Yeah.
in the face. I love the tilted perspective we got from the camera, where when Mike was on the floor and we just see Peter like above him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's cinema. That is cinematography. That's good stuff right there. And you're not going to give Peter a star for this, for punching Christiva? You don't think it deserves one? Half star, maybe?
Okay.
Don't ask me where we are with the stars. I still don't remember.
I will give a half star. I think we're at 2 full stars now.
So we're at 2 stars now for Peter. Because
he defended the family. Yeah.
The fam. You gotta defend the family. You know what I mean? Did he sully the family name before? Yeah, of course. Well, when other people are coming for the family, you gotta protect the family. So yeah, I liked how he did. I like how he did this. I like how he covered his tracks. How he, as Eli said, fought a lie with a bigger lie of being like, oh yeah, this guy's getting sauced, fell down in the bathroom. Very good by Peter in this.
Yes, yeah, he definitely covered all the bases. But let's talk about Will. Will arrives at the station, and he like rushes in, and he says, "I did some research. The cops never found the shooter from the Fifth Ward shooting. It was a drug theft." And at this point, like they're just chit chatting, and we see Laura see Will and Alicia being Will and Alicia through a window. So she's like, "Okay, like what's up with this?"
She goes and she sits down at a desk. I was almost like, is there like some weird like intercom
Floater
system?
desk? Oh
no, like is there like it's like an intercom system where she can listen into what they're talking about. I don't think there was, but I was wondering if that was why she was like trying to find a desk. She's like, let me see if I can spy what they're talking about. But yeah, like I love Will, like I'm here for my woman. Like rushing in, like, where's my girl, Alicia?
Yes.
Where's she at?
Yes. Yeah. And they use this moment to like have a little conversation. Alicia asks, like, how's the party? It's like, well, you look good. No, you look good. And then there's like this awkward pause. And Alicia goes, we were good together, weren't we? And Will's like, yeah, we were. And then Alicia says, we're keeping each other from moving on. He's like, no, we just have this like residual thing. I'm dealing with it. You're dealing with it. And Alicia says, no, I'm being selfish right here in this moment. I beg with Peter. I don't think she is in real life, but I think she's telling Will this so that he can move on. And she continues by saying, this has to end. And he goes, can you just decide that? Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I think I can. It's like what do you like? Yeah, there are two people in the relationship. If one decides it's over, it has to be over. Will, we can't be a weird stalker and like be like it's not over. I refuse to believe it's over. No, but if one person says it's over, it's over. Calm down, Will. But I love these kind of scenes, right? Because we're eliminating all preface. We're not pretending that's not affecting us. We have to look at it, face front and be like, listen, this is a situation. We're not trying to like talk around it. We're here. Like,
yeah. But what do you think about, like, do you think she's really back in love with Peter?
Back in love with Peter?
Do you
Uh,
think she's doing this for Will's protection? Is this her white knight moment for Will?
yeah, I think she's doing this because she's trying to. I think she is trying to do this also for herself, to be like, I need to be over this. I need to get past it. Will, I think she's telling the truth. We need to get past this. We're holding on to the past. I can't do that. I can't hold you back, because she's realizing now with this conversation with Laura of like, I think in the moment she's like, she's while she was talking to Laura, she had to decide like, do I sabotage this right now so I can preserve Will in case I ever want to go back there, or do I have to let this go and be like, yes, go pursue Will. You have my blessing that you didn't know you needed to have from me right now. And let's also not pretend, Will, that you haven't been dipping your pen in some Garza
Yeah.
parlance. You haven't been dipping your pen in other ink.
Okay.
Let's not forget Giada, right? That he had this
Well,
small encounter
yeah.
a while ago. So it's not as if he's been like holding himself back from other things.
Yeah.
Now, Alicia might not know that, but Will's acting all like, no, like we're good, right? I can still pine after you.
But I think what's different here is that like Alicia, it's kind of like you were saying, like this is an approval. Like I approve of this one. And also it would be more than just sex with her. There would be actual emotions and deep things. And that's what I want for you, Will. That's what I want for me. So go. It was kind of like she took advantage of the opportunity of Laura saying I'm into Will to kind of
Yeah.
kick this into motion.
Yeah, and I think she also is. I think she's in love with Peter now. No, I think she's trying to get back there. I think she thinks it's in everyone's best interest for her to get back to that space where she can say she loves this man, because I think she has come to terms with the fact maybe that she's stuck with him. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
well,
exactly how she's feeling.
yeah, I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like in love, but there's definitely
There's feelings. And
love.
from what we've seen recently, Alicia has been more like standoffish with Peter. She's been like, I think she has been harboring these feelings of there's a possibility for me and Will in the future,
Mhm.
maybe. So I don't want to get too close to Peter, because I think maybe there could be something Will down the line. But I think this has made her be like, no, I need to let it go. It needs to be a thing in the past. And maybe now she wants to be back on that road to like, I can try to be back with Peter as a real couple, because it's been hookups with her and Peter while she's thinking about Will.
Why would
Uh,
I go to dinner with you?
yeah, exactly. So it's been booty calls for her and Peter up until recently, where Peter's like, "Hey, want to go to dinner?" So I do think she's trying to like get herself back in that space of her and Peter as a married couple officially.
I refuse, but I hear you.
Yeah,
At this point, we hear mom pick up the phone, mom pick up the phone, mom pick up
classic.
the phone. So Grace called and she doesn't even say hello. She's like, you were pregnant before you got married, and
Oh boy.
I was an accident. And grandma's been to Bali, and then we hear like these puking sounds. And so Alicia's like, well, let me just talk to grandma. So she tells Veronica, I need you to walk to the 4 blocks to the Astor Street mansion. Jason,
Yeah.
Astor, ring any bells?
Yeah. Lena's house. Was this Lena's house at some point in time? She had a
Well,
Chicago house, maybe?
no, that Astor family never lived in Chicago, but they honored, quote unquote, honored the Astors by naming a street after them and building houses there so that they would get rich people to move to Chicago.
Oh, makes sense.
It's kind of like the Greenland Iceland thing, but not like the Greenland Iceland thing like right now, but like how, Greenland, Iceland. Anywho. So she's like, just meet me at the party. It's like, are you angry? She's like, no, just meet me at the party.
No, she doesn't even say no. She's like, are you angry? She's like, she doesn't even answer. She's like, just meet me at the party.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm angry, but I don't want to yell at you right now in front of all these people in my pretty bony dress. Just get your ass to the party. Like, I've heard that tone of talk from a parent, from my parents, every so often. Like, I'm not gonna do this with you now. I'll ream your ass out when I see you. But just come meet me right now.
I need you to go over here. And then after she finishes the phone call, she does see Will talking to Laura. So I think Will was like, okay, I'm gonna move on. Like, okay, let's do this. And hopefully Laura, we don't know what was said, but they were talking.
Mhm.
Kalinda then interrupts Doug in his search of the vehicle, and he's like, "Don't! I'm not gonna let you hear. You're just like trying to, you think it's us." And Kalinda's like, "You're trying to protect your guy," but then Doug says that Norwitz was working with the DIA or DEA, so he was innocent during this time. And Alicia just asks, or not Alicia, Kalinda asks for the make of the car. We see that at the Lincoln, but she wants to know which Lincoln is it. And it's a 2006 Zephyr. And at this point, Kalinda goes, "Oh, funny thing about those 2006 Zephyrs, because I've memorized the entire catalog of all features on all cars. It doesn't have GPS, Doug. Huh.
Uh-oh. You've been caught. You've been caught in a lie."
So at this point, Alicia walks out. She's pissed. Laura's like, I didn't know. Will's like, I want to know what the heck happened. And Alicia walks off and basically tells an officer to go F yourself.
And of course, we hear like rabble rousing partying in the middle of the F yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Because CBS,
Yeah. The Kings always love a good distraction from a curse word. But yeah, this, I think when I watched this, I was like, this is probably like might not be true, and it is real like crappy for them to do, like to like, pretend like her family is under threat to make her give up this information. So yeah, that was real shitty. I assume that at some point Kalinda called them and was like, "Hey, it's a lie." She of course couldn't come down to the precinct to tell them in person
because that would break the
rules. Reasons, right? Yeah. Of reasons. So yeah, I would be just as steamed as Alicia is. She just made her kids like go on this sojourn with their grandmother out into a bar, find out with all this information about her life coming up, all for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. At the party, we see Cardinal James consoling Mike. It's like, "Oh my gosh, this happens to the best of us." And Mike's like, "What? I didn't do it. It's like a little tipple, a little spill." It's like, "No, Peter hit me." It's like, "No, you take care now, Mike. You take care."
Dad, Peter hit me. Peter hit me.
Yeah.
Like, okay. All right, Mike. Sure. This Cardinal is very like forgiving of a lot of things. Like, hey.
Well, I mean, he's a man of the Lord.
That's his job, I guess.
Yeah. He is there to forgive.
As long as somebody's gay, it's all good.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about organized religion and Catholicism, but not at this time. But yes, he is walking around and he also finds Alicia and he's like, "Hey, so either your son was arrested for pot or you were helping catch a murder." And she's like, "The latter." It was the latter. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's what your mom said." He's like, "Oh my God, really? My mom's here?" And then we get Eli coming by telling Alicia that Peter hit Kristiva and you need to play along. And he's got a bloody nose. And we can kind of see that Alicia's like, "Huh? Really? He did?"
Yeah. Love the little laugh between them, like, "Oh yeah, that ass Kristiva got what was coming to him." Love it. Love that for us.
Kalinda back at the station, rewatching the tape, and only because Kalinda's the only one who could have found this. But she notices that there's one of those like fetch thrower things for dogs that is coming out of a car. Like, gotta be, the guy who had the car with the barking.
Car of the shooter.
Yes. Like, have you? She's like, "So you think this was because the guy was a dog lover?" And she goes, "Have you ever met a dog lover?"
Yeah, and we literally, like, in one of the flashbacks that we see Ashbaugh fighting with people, there's literally a guy accosting him with this literal toy in his hand. So it's like, okay, yeah, we know who this is. We saw, like, as like in your face as anything can be, of like, "Hey, remember this? Remember this little toy? Remember you saw that earlier in the episode? It's that guy. He's the murderer."
Grace and Alicia have a little chat on the stairs, and she is very transparent with Grace. She says, "Yes, I was pregnant and I was embarrassed, so I moved the date back." And she's like, "But I was just an accident." She's like, "No, we wanted you. I loved you both before you were born." And Grace is like, "But you wanted me to keep you together?" Like, "No, we wanted you." Grace very astutely is like, "I don't want to be responsible for your happiness. Like, if I was only born to keep you two together, I don't want that." Like,
that. It's like, I mean, Grace, me and your dad didn't really have that many problems until recently. Like, so you weren't. It's not as if we're having these marriage issues before.
Like, she's hearing this. She's still a kid. Like, it reminded me, like, oh my God, Grace, you're still a kid.
Sure. And well, Grace does mention like, and I don't want to be the one that keep you from the happiness that you
You
want right
want,
now,
right.
aka Will, because
Will.
everybody knows, and like everyone's aware you want to be with Will. It's everyone's worst kept secret that mom wants to be with Will, and she's like, I don't want to have to keep you from that. And Alicia's like, oh no, but in actuality, like, yeah, you really are, because you little sweetheart, love you dearly, you're my child, but you literally are the thing keeping me from Will. Literally, you're the reason I broke it off with him.
She says, no, this isn't about like that. This is about love. Like, I loved you before you were born. And Grace is like, and dad? Like, I love him.
It's like, well, like she literally pauses and like, what do I say right now? I'm surprised she would be like, I have love for him, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I love the person he is.
I love
kinda
because of him we have you.
Yeah.
I love.
But listen, she doesn't want to cause any more disturbances, so she's like, yes, I love your father,
especially tonight, because it's been quite a night. We do see that Peter gets a handshake, and Eli's like, well, what are you gonna do? Later, Alicia finds Veronica, and they have a conversation about how, like, Alicia might be protecting the kids too much. And then she's like, but I'm gonna see them, and I love them, and I like them, and they remind me of your father. And she's like, I know they do, but you cannot use the truth to undercut me with my kids. She's like, yeah, good point.
Yeah,
good point. I'm on that. And then Peter asks Alicia to dance.
Oh,
so dance.
I know you love this. Like Peter pops up. He asks no questions. He's like, "Oh, hey, Veronica's here. Cool. What's up?" Like he's like, "Aren't you curious about why Veronica's here? Why all your kids are here?"
Do you want to see how much work women had to do while Peter was not doing anything? Do you see that? Do you see that?
Yeah. Yes, Marissa. I see.
Okay.
I see.
Thank you very much. Yes. So they dance, just like our wedding, and she thanks him for punching Kristiva. And Eli interrupts the dance. He's so excited because there were 2 handshakes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, there were 2. This is uncharted territory. We've never been here before. And Peter's like, I am dancing with my wife. Like, I'll worry about the campaign. You finish your dance or whatever.
It was just a fun little like Three's Company type of moment of like, it's like, aren't you guys happy? And they're like, we're just dancing, Eli.
Well, and also sometimes like with a kid, right? Like sometimes Eli seems like their kid at some point, because like, mom and dad, look at this. Like, no, just go away. It's okay. And we leave this episode with one final flashback between Alicia and Ashbaugh. Ashbaugh. And Alicia's asking him, like, why don't we just settle? It was just a dog barking. He's like, that's not the point. This is for you. I was like, what is it? It's her own soundtrack. It's her own thing. And we learned that basically this guy had a crush on her, because he's like, it was never about the money. It was about the process, being with you. And Alicia's like, nah. Like, no, just kidding.
He's like, that'd be weird, right? If I was just doing all this to get to be near you, huh? Weird. It was like, yeah, real weird. Which is like also like, remember CDs, guys? Remember CDs?
Yeah.
He like slides her a CD, like, and she's like, "What is this?" Which I feel like if you slid a CD to any like person under the age of like 17, they'd be like, what is this? Like, because I don't know what this
shiny
is.
disc.
This is a disc. But yeah, it was weird of like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave now because you're being weird. But at least she does look on it with like fondness of like, oh, that was so sweet.
Yeah,
he was stalking me. Oh,
I don't really know if we needed that in this episode.
Listen, Juliana was like, well, he's obsessed with me, right? He loves me, right? He loves my character, right? They're like, okay, fine, Juliana, we'll put this into the episode if you really need it. She's like, yeah, I did. Also, make sure I'm not in a scene with Clinda, please. They're like, yep, we already got that note. We got it. You're not no scenes with Clinda. We got it. The actual like murder and crime was too cloudy for me, because it's like I guess at the end of the day, the guy was mad because something dealing with the dog. Now, if you had told me that this guy got this guy's dog like put down by animal control or something, I'd get that. I understand more background of why this guy decided to murder him, but like,
No clue.
no clue.
Just people being mad that they got sued and therefore thought they could kill people.
Yeah. Also, why was Ashbaugh concerned with the Fifth Ward shooting?
No
I
clue.
was no clue. They didn't really explain that at all. I was thinking like, is Ashbaugh like? Because I think he mentions being a software engineer, but is he like an undercover drug kingpin or something? Like, what is happening?
Well, there is a line in this episode where he says, "And then you'll realize everything I said was true." And so I wonder if in the upcoming episodes, some of his some of his notes or something like that will come into play and
Oh, it's like a tangled web of conspiracy.
something. And then it might have to do with privilege because, like, can we protect this or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think this definitely wasn't a case. Like, there wasn't a case in this show. It was just kind of a
Yeah.
circumstance.
Mhm.
Um,
Interesting to note, John Noble is credited with 2 episodes of
See?
The Good Wife,
More
so
flashbacks.
could be back later in flashback form. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, he's dead. It'd have to be in flashback form.
Or if we just start, like switching this whole thing up, making it a sci-fi show with ghosts. I'm not, I'm not objecting to that. But yes, that was the episode where it's all about Alicia. Everyone loves Alicia. Everyone's pining for Alicia. Marissa, do you want to tell the good folks out there where they can find you and what you're up to out there on the interwebs?
Sure. You can find me at itsmemarissag.com. It's newly designed. So if you want to go look at that, it has links to all of the podcasts that I'm on, including this one, which is great. We also have a YouTube channel, which you can find there as well. You can also follow. I also put a link to the Gilded Age. So if you are watching that for whatever reason, it's a comfort watch for you in these trying times and want some sort of companion cast to go with it. We do have some episodes for you there. And then also the USS Sisterhood with me and my sister going through Star Trek The Next Generation for the first time. Not linked there yet, but will be is also my work on Whirlwind Podcasts, where we are watching previous Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time. That is it for me. Jason, what's going on with you?
Yeah, you can find me as always on the Perfect Match podcast, where me and Asia Welch are talking about the show Married at First Sight. It is a messy, fun reality show, and at the moment, since Married at First Sight is not currently airing a new season, we're going back into the vault, talking about season 10 of Married at First Sight. We are exclusively on Patreon right now, so you go to patreon.com/Perfect Match Podcast. You will find us there. That's pretty much it for me right now. But if I'm doing anything else, I'll talk about it on my socials, which are not important right now. But anyway, either way, that's your episode for this week. Until next time, stay good.